I've sold $1.25 million in digital products over the last about 4.5 years. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 10 things I wish I'd have known getting started that have allowed me to get incredible results that have continued to scale year over year. Hey there, I'm Zach Spuckler of Heart, Soul, and Hustle, and I help digital course creators, membership owners, and service providers get more sales of their products leveraging online marketing. And like I said, I've been able to do $1.25 million in sales of digital products over the last 4.5 years. And to be really specific, these are just our scalable digital products. This doesn't include our agency, our consulting, coaching, high ticket products. These are products where we've had about 25,000 customers and the average value of an order is $51. Now, what that means is we sell a lot of low ticket products, and it's been really the lifeblood of our business. But there are some things I wish I would have known getting started that have been really helpful to taking things to the next level. So let's get into it. So the first thing I wish someone would have told me is that if you go low ticket, you have to go high volume. And listen, I know intuitively that makes sense, but here is the big thing to understand. If you want to go low ticket with your offers, even if you have higher and back end products, you still need a lot of volume to fill those. And that volume has to come from somewhere. So whether that's advertising or organic social media or joint ventures or doing other people's podcasts, you have to have a plan in place that's going to take you from I've got this great product to I'm going to get it in the hands of quite literally thousands of people if you want that to happen, right? So make sure that you understand before you jump into low ticket that it's not right or wrong. It's just a different path, but it does require volume. Now, that segues us wonderfully into the next point, which is lead generation is the lifeblood of a low ticket digital product business. Now, here's the thing. I don't care if you do or don't have a high ticket offer on the back of your low ticket products. You need leads. And I know it's really the sexy thing right now to be like, oh, just run ads to your low ticket product and then just like get paid. But here's what I've learned along the way. The reason we've been able to have an average order value of about $51 over double five-figure customer base is because we have that customer base, right? We grow our email list 24/7 with Facebook and Instagram ads using Facebook lead ads to get people on our list, and we nurture them. Because while the average order value is $51, it's not a single order. People join our membership and they renew month after month. People join one workshop and then come to another one 3 months later and then maybe buy a $200 or $300 product from us down the road, right? So just understand that if you want to grow, if you want the volume, lead generation is the lifeblood of your business. 80% of our month to month advertising goes directly to lead generation. We spend thousands of dollars growing the list and putting content in front of them. And that's absolutely what you need to do if you want to reach more people with your digital products. Okay, so here's the next one. I wish someone would have said to me, you don't need to have a 997 course. I'm dating myself here a little bit, but back in 2016, I used to have a digital product that we sold for 1297, $1,297. And we sold it with an automated webinar and it was selling pretty well. And I thought that's what you had to do if you wanted to make money online. I thought you had to have this 997 or 1997 or 2997 product. But the reality is you can succeed at every level as long as you understand the foundational economics of your offer. As long as it costs you less to get someone into your business than they are worth to your business, you can be at any price point that you want. And you don't let don't let anyone tell you you can't be really successful with low ticket products. Now, do I think you need ways to retain and renew that low ticket? 100%. I have personally found that what works best for us is bringing people in low ticket and moving them into a membership model where we get a recurring low ticket payment over the life of the business. I do think that that is really helpful, right? But do you need to move people to a $2,000 course or a $5,000 coaching program? No, you can be really successful even if you choose not to do that. And so, right on the heels of that, what I want you to know is that everything works. And I know that this is controversial advice. Like, it shouldn't be, but it is because everyone is telling you online something about something, right? And what I mean is, webinars are dead, challenges don't work, webinars are amazing, challenges are the only way to go. And as marketers, it's our job to convince our audience that our mechanism, our product, our offer is the way to go. But the true reality of it is everything works. There are people crushing it with automated webinars. There are people crushing it with only high ticket offers. There are people crushing it with only low ticket offers and everything in between. So, what I have come to discover is that it's not about saying, oh, what works? It's about saying, what works for me? And so, what I've done over the years working with countless mentors and courses and low ticket digital products that I've taken is I take it in, I test it, and I adapt it to what makes sense for my business, right? You can't just do what someone else says worked for them and assume it's going to work for you in the exact same way. Because 9 times out of 10, you are not that business. 99 times out of 100, you're not that business. And so you have to realize that if you don't set yourself up to test, trial, and adapt the knowledge that you take in, you're setting yourself up for failure. Don't let anyone tell you that something doesn't work. Find out for yourself. Okay, so this one feels like a little bit of a cop out, but here's the thing: make good offers. And what I mean by that is create good experiences for people, right? The reality is good marketing can sell a bad product, but a great product can outperform bad marketing. The thing that I think most people fail to realize is, especially in the low ticket digital product space, it's easy to let people down. It's easy for people to go, wow, I can't believe I spent $20 for that. I can't believe I bought that thing and it's not really doing anything for my business or my life or my health. And guess what? That is the norm. So when you create a low ticket offer, or honestly, any ticket offer, you should be aiming to create an incredible experience for people. Do things different, right? When we do our $25 Facebook and Instagram ads bootcamp live, we send people a physical postcard. When we just did our Facebook and Instagram ads summer camp, we sent people a t-shirt, like a summer camp t-shirt, right? It's not, let me be really clear. The goal with that is not for people to then go, oh my gosh, my t-shirt came and post it on Instagram, dag Zach, I get a ton of followers. The goal is that you create a standout experience. And if you create a wonderful experience for people, whether it's $25 or 25,000, people remember that and people talk. We now have a thriving affiliate base for our bootcamp specifically, because I will toot my own horn, toot toot. We get really good results in our Facebook and Instagram ads bootcamp. And really, people love to share that because they know it's a good experience, they know it's a good product, and they know people are going to enjoy it. So don't just throw something together. Don't go into ChatGPT and go, what should my digital product be? Like, put the time in and don't just create a digital product, curate an incredible experience, and people will talk, remember, and share. Okay, so now that you have a good offer, it's like, make sure you keep telling people about it. I think this was the one that really, it took me a couple years to realize. Like, I've always heard, people say, like, make the one thing, or you have to talk about your offer all the time. But I guess what I didn't process is that you have to literally keep saying the same things over and over and over again. Like, say the same thing different ways, sure. But guess what? If I don't talk about Facebook and Instagram ads as like the core of my business, and I don't keep talking about it, and I don't keep talking about low ticket offers and how to move people through your funnels and your process, guess what? No one's going to join our Facebook ads and funnels membership, right? I have to keep talking about it, and not just to new people, but to people already in my ecosystem and in my business. You have to make the offer again and again and again, because I've had people, we just had somebody on one of our webinars the other day who said, I've been following you for 7 years and I've never bought anything. And I was like, that's crazy. But the reality is, kind of in this, is it's also the long game. That's why, earlier I said, like, leads are the lifeblood of my business. That's because some people will stick with me for 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 36 months, 5 years, and then be like, okay, now that I've heard it 1,000 times, I'm ready to take action, or the time is right, or the time is now, right? You have to continue to make offers to people. And We sell our Facebook and Instagram ads bootcamp on demand now. It's $25. And I'll link it up in the description below if you want to check it out, like how we grow our list with list building ads. But guess what? It sold yesterday. It sold today. It's going to sell tomorrow. When you have a winning product, double down. So make the offers again and again. And kind of within that is don't feel like you need a million offers, right? When you have one really good offer, keep promoting the offer. All right, I'm going to be real with you. We do stuff that doesn't work all the time. We look at failure as feedback. I don't care what you sell. I don't care what market you're in. I don't care how long you've been on that stride. You're going to have a dud product, webinar, challenge, ad, funnel, promotion, offer, something. We all have good and bad days. And sometimes I come up with these ideas. We had this idea a few months ago to do this like particular training, and I was like, this is so good. People are going to go nuts for this. And like nobody signed up. We ended up jumping ship on it halfway through the promotion. We ended up doing some refunds to people. And I was just like, that sucked. But we took that failure as feedback. My audience does not respond to this type of offer. My audience does respond to this type of offer. And we learn along the way. Another really specific example, when we started our membership, I remember I was so excited. We got over 100 people in the first month, and then over 20% of our membership base churned in the second month. Like 20% of people canceled their subscription. And we wised up real quick and started figuring that out. And now we've reduced our churn to a point where we start to retain members a lot longer. They stick around longer, they have a better experience. But we wouldn't have had the information to improve our membership results if we didn't have the failure as feedback of what wasn't working. And just as a fun little aside, what wasn't working was it wasn't clear where to start. People didn't feel like they were getting wins quickly, and they didn't know where to go when they came in the membership. So we created an onboarding process, and now people stick around a lot longer. Okay, this one is super near and dear to my heart. I, a long time ago, met someone who was like not really a celebrity, but like, in the internet, some people feel very celebrity status. And I met someone and I just had like this total fake out, freak out, like, who am I to meet this person? And I ended up getting into the elevator with them. That's where I ran into them at a conference. And I was so like just starstruck that I rode in the elevator to the top floor, which you needed a key card to get to. That's where their room was, but I was not at key card room level at that point. And it was just so awkward. They were like, "Are you getting off?" And I was like, "Nope, wrong floor." Doors close, awkwardness ensues. And what I realized from that is number one, I do not, unless I meet Taylor Swift, I don't really fan girl out very hardcore anymore because people are just people. But I also realize there are people in our space who look up to us, right? Now, am I saying there are people who would like freak out if they got in an elevator with me? No, probably not. But people appreciate people who impact their life. This person had an impact on my life. And when you start selling your products and offering your advice and doing videos and podcasts and all these things, people listen. People listen to the things that you say. There are people watching this video like, oh, this is great, right? Sure, some people hate it, but some people really take it to heart. And I made this decision after that experience and somebody coming up to meet me at a conference. And I said, I'm always going to give people a positive experience of me. Even if I don't want to be there, even if it's not the vibe, even if I'm tired, I am going to make sure that when people interact with me, they have a positive experience. And I don't go to a lot of like in-person events anymore. And I had a little bit of like celebrity from a really like high-ranking podcast back in the day. And so when people come up to me and be like, "Oh my gosh, you're Zach," I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, it's so great to meet you," even if I was tired, even if I didn't want to be there. And so I brought that online. I brought that ideology online. And so when people send me an email like, "I know you're never going to read this, but," I read it and I reply. When somebody has spent nothing with me, $1 with me, or $1,000 with me, my goal is that they feel seen, heard, and appreciated. And so the way this shows up is respond to comments, respond to DMs, respond to emails. Do the things you say you're going to do for people and show up for your audience. There's so much value in like people just want to feel seen and heard. And I have been in a lot of experiences in the online world where I don't feel seen and heard. I pay a lot of money to not feel seen and heard. And so if you can just show up for the people in your audience, respond to their emails, answer their questions, show up for people within reason, have healthy boundaries for sure. But let me tell you, when you respond to somebody's email who doesn't think they're going to respond, it really makes their day. And that is what creates lifelong fans. Okay, so this next one's super tactical. Email your list. Okay, so I've said a couple of things throughout this, like email is, or list building is the lifeblood of my business. And to build that list and generate leads, you then want to talk to your leads. Now, if you're watching this and you're an online creator of a course or a membership or a coaching program, guess what? You are at some level a personal brand and you need to email your list and talk to them consistently. And as weird as it might feel initially, let them in on your life. Okay. So I have my Taylor Swift. I went to see the Eras tour, which was phenomenal, by the way, in London, and I post about it. She's floating around here somewhere. We have Artemis as our hairless cat. She was like all up in my business until I hit record. Now she doesn't want to come onto camera as I was hoping, but I talk about my hairless cat. I share photos on Instagram stories of my hairless cat. We put pictures of her inside of emails. I recently have taken into the fountain pen world, and I wrote an email the other day that was like, I really have a problem with fountain pens. I love them so much, right? And conceptually, you might be like, why does that matter? Because people connect with and buy from people. And so, yes, if I'm growing this list and that's the lifeblood of my business, I need to engage with that. But I also need to share stories and who I am because people want to get to know you, right? Um, I'm like a total Swiftie, like hardcore, right? But it's like the fact that I know that Taylor Swift's cats' names are Meredith Grey, right? Um, oh my gosh, I'm totally spacing. Why am I spacing on her cat names? Do not judge me. There's Benjamin, and then there is, oh my gosh, that's so bad. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter. You're getting the real experience. It doesn't matter, right? Like, why do I know those things and why does that make me care, right? Olivia Benson. Oh my gosh. How did I forget Olivia? So there's Olivia, Meredith, and Benjamin. And it's like, how do I know that? Because I follow her. I see her accounts. I like to watch what she does. We build, whether we like it or not, parasocial relationships where we perceive ourselves as being friends and connected to people that we don't know. And so you can either ignore that and be stale and clinical and just email all sales content, which still email sales content, but let people in. Open the door. Tell people about yourself because people care. They care about little things, they care about big things. And when we announced on our live training a couple days ago that Artemis, our current hairless cat, she's a pink and lavender kind of like tortie style. Obviously, she doesn't have hair, but tortie style cat. That we are getting a like jet black ashy style. I always forget the actual name for it, but Sync's cat. That's gonna be her sister. People were like, "Oh my gosh, Artemis needs a sister so bad! Like, how cool that you're expanding." And it's like, does that really sell courses? Well, yes and no, right? People love to connect with people. Let them in, tell them who you are, share your stories. Okay, and the last and final thing that I've picked up along the way is no one knows what they're doing. Little tip from me to you. I don't know what I'm doing. You don't know what you're doing. Most people don't know what they're doing. And I don't mean it in that like kitschy, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, like, literally, we're all just doing our best, right? What works today, we assume will work tomorrow. I could do a webinar over and over and over and over again, and I could build my webinar strategy and I could teach that webinar strategy. And then guess what? Tomorrow, the software company that it all hinges on could go belly up. We just don't know. We like to pretend we know. We like to think we know. But at the end of the day, business and life isn't fully predictable. I don't have a crystal ball. You don't have a crystal ball. And so just remember that whatever you think you want to do or try or run with, do it. Because anyone who says you can't, within reason, that's not you, that's them. And so we don't know what we're doing. The game changes all the time. And so the only way to win the game is to play the game. And so I just want to encourage you that if you're watching this video and you're taking something from it, it's like, just try it. It's all a big experiment. We don't know what we're doing. Like, this YouTube video could be a flop. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not, but I'm going to try. The only way to win the game is to be off the bench. So there you have it. Those are the things that I've picked up along the way. $1.2 million in digital product sales in the last 4 years, not including any of our agency or consulting revenue. And if I could offer just one piece of parting advice, it would be this: grow your list, please. I don't care what you sell, at what price point, build an audience, nurture that audience, and talk to them. And if you want to know how to do that, I'll link it up below. The Facebook and Instagram ads bootcamp we have for $25 will literally take you from I have a freebie to I'm growing my email list with Facebook and Instagram ads in under 48 hours if you follow along. And in 5 days, you'll know what you're doing and have a repeatable process that you can do it again and again and again. But literally in 2 days, first 2 days you set up ads, by the end of the week, you'll have 50 to 100 new leads on your list. We see it time and time again. So I hope you got massive value from this video. I know I had a blast shooting it, looking at the numbers, reflecting, and sharing with you. If you could do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We are going to be doing more YouTube content, and it always helps to hear from you. What did you like about it? What did you hate about it? Let me know in the comments, because your feedback is, I was going to say is my failure because of earlier, but your feedback is invaluable to us continuing to develop the channel, the content, and content that really supports you and what it is you're looking to do. So there you have it. Some things I picked up along the way. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day, week, month, or year. And until next time, stay not so average.